Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm Savannah, and here I like to talk about the fun side of minimalism. I do a ton of decluttering here, and that's exactly what we're doing today, a massive bathroom declutter and reorganization. Let's get into it. For me in my current life stage, I have a little one, a 1-year-old son, and so things are changing a lot. He is getting bigger, he's reaching into things he never has reached before. And of course, I want my son to explore, but at the same time, I value my time. I don't want to be picking up after my son every free moment that I have. So what I did is I actually mapped out all of my shelves on a piece of paper and figured out what makes the most sense, what's functional, and what works for our family right now. I'm going to show you the current state, the before, of my bathroom. This is my shelf. So I don't typically keep all of this stuff here. What was going on is my son was grabbing random items from these lower shelves, and then I would take it from him if it wasn't appropriate to have, set it on the highest shelf that I could easily access, which happened to be my shelf. Up here on top, this is my husband's shelf. I think we can help him tidy this a little bit. Up here we have our towels, and then up at the very top, some toilet paper, an extra bath mat, hair trimmers, some candles, travel size toiletries. Down underneath here, these are like the major no-no child zone. I have some cleaning supplies, a scale. Under here are my hot tools. In the middle here are drawers. Our bottom drawer, I used to keep things in here, but my son was getting in here. This middle one, same thing, used to be my face wash drawer. And then this top drawer is our toothbrush drawer. I usually have my toothbrush and floss in these little bins to keep things organized, but my son dumped them all out today. The very last place is underneath this second sink, and I have my backup toilet paper and my little garbage can. So let's get into it. Let's pull everything out. It's more than I expected. I forgot that I had some of the things in the cabinets that I couldn't see, and that's why we declutter. Before I commence the declutter and putting everything back, I'm going to give my shelves a good wipe down, get them nice and clean for everything to go back into. Also, I'm going to adjust some of the shelves. They have these little peg things and different holes for adjustable shelving heights. I'm going to keep this shelf as my husband's stuff. It's just where he's used to reaching. So I'm going to keep that for him. Take over this next shelf. It's a little bit high, but there's good light coming in through the window. So I think it's a pretty good spot for me. I'm going to start with my own things here. This is what I reach for once a month. We have tampons. These go quick, so I'm gonna set these in the very back. Next up, I'm thinking about this little bin. Now that I'm looking at this container, I'm thinking it may be better for all of my period stuff. Okay, I finished swapping those out. Next up is this platter of crap. Oh, this is so messy. It's usually beautiful, but we're gonna make it beautiful now. Brow glue. Yes, the brow glue works pretty good. Do I care that much about my brows being up and perky? Kinda not. But it's gotten murky, which is just kinda nasty, right? So I'm gonna declutter this just because it's not sparking joy. You know, I have this lip liner. Lip liner is cute. It makes my lips look more full, but I just don't have big lips. Who am I kidding? I have 2 lipsticks, this berry colored one from Well People, and I have this ballet slipper one from Sephora. I've had these both for a long time, love them. Felt tip eyeliner, I do love a cat eye, but this one is just not that fantastic. I'm gonna declutter this one. Next is this tiny e.l.f. eyeshadow palette. I just do one little swipe of one color on each eye, so I'm gonna keep that. Next I have my Ordinary foundation / concealer. I love this thing. I've had it for a long time, honestly. It may be time just to get a new one in case it's getting old. But I think I've had this for like a year. Mascaras. My favorite mascara right now is this Maybelline Snapscara. What I care about is just not having raccoon eyes, and this Snapscara is one of those. I think they call them tubing mascaras. And this is almost dry. It's kind of ready to toss. And I went into Ulta because I had an Ulta gift card to replace my Snapscara, and they don't carry it anymore. And so I was like Googling other comparable drugstore mascaras, and it recommended this Voluminous False Fiber Lashes, and it ain't the same. It works better, it makes your lashes bigger, but this one totally does bleed down onto your face. So I'm actually going to declutter this even though I've barely had it. In the same region, I have this eyelash curler. I was a serious non-believer, but I'm a believer now. I'm a little bit of a convert. I started using one and it actually makes a difference. I think it's because my mascara was so weak in the volume department that I needed a little oomph, and this does it. Next, I have my eyebrow pencil. This is the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow. I like it. It's really fast to draw it in because it's a thick crayon. I do think the consistency changed a little bit. Like, it's a little less fantastic. It's a little more waxy. Maybe it's just in my head. TBD. I'm gonna buy one more after this one and then go from there. I may have to do a switcheroo, but I've been using this for a couple years. It's very inexpensive. I think like less than $5. I have some replacements for my eyelash curler. I don't like holding on to extra things, but I do plan on using this for the foreseeable future. I think I need to Google how to know when it's time to do a switch. Okay, this is a declutter item. I have this Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Defining Cream. Anyways, this is empty, so I'm going to declutter this one. My next hair product, JVN. I think it's his air dry cream. I love Jonathan Van Ness. I think he's just the most entertaining person ever, and I like the idea of his hairline. It's sustainable, it's good packaging, it actually works, but this is 20 bucks and I go through a lot of it. I think of the price per use, it's just too much. So I'm not gonna repurchase this. I am going to use the end of it and then carry on with my life. Deodorant, I'm going to hold on to this one. I didn't wear deodorant most of my life. I just felt like I didn't really need it. I think my BO has changed, like with hormones, with pregnancy and birth and everything, and now I think I do smell a little bit. So that's that. This is a clay mask from Coco Kind. I like the idea of Coco Kind, but I've tried the products and I'm just not crazy into them. Maybe it's just a my skin thing. This was pretty pricey though. Like, I want to say between $15 and $20. I've used it a lot, but I'm just over it. Like, I'm just using it to get through it. I don't think it has great effect on my skin and it ain't spark and joy. So this is my moisturizer. I absolutely love it. I did accidentally buy a scented version, which is a bummer, but I'm just gonna use it. So I'm gonna hold on to that. My face wash, Burt's Bees. I like that still. This is brand new. I have not used retinol since before I was pregnant, so it's been a minute, like 2 years. I love The Ordinary and I'm ready to bring a little bit of retinol back into my life. Honestly, I decluttered this a few months ago and there's things I see in here I don't think he's used since. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out a pile that I think should be decluttered and then have him take a look. We have these 3 straggling bins. I have my first aid kit. This is my son's bin, so it's a mix of first aid, but just baby specific products. And this is a little bit of a catch-all, which I want to declutter. So I'm going to basically take these odds and ends that were strewn about, and I'm going to put them back in their designated bin. Here's where I've got with the bins. It's a little overcrowded in my first aid bin, but my husband really likes having a lot of supplies on hand, kind of more than I would choose to have. And here's our baby items. I do see a few things to declutter. I do not think we need 2 of these suction things. Then also this hairbrush. It's very sweet, but my baby has outgrown it and I'm going to leave the rest. And then over here, I think it's okay being okay with having kind of a random catch-all bin. I can't fit this heating pad in this box comfortably and I consider it a first aid item. Then also these toothbrush holders, and then we have these 2 tests and I don't really have a place for these either. I would categorize them as first aid, but they're just going to live in that box. You know what, I felt like my first aid kit was overflowing, so I actually did go back in here and consolidate all of my Band-Aids. And then I went through all the prescription bottles and they were all expired, every single one. So whoops, but I just decluttered those. So I placed my laundry basket on the bottom shelf. I have not had a home for this. It's been floating around my house. It's a little bit of an eyesore. I think this could be a good spot. And my plan for the next shelf is other big items that are easy to put back. Towels, extra toilet paper. Oh my goodness. I just found my missing freaking hairbrush. I thought I left this on vacation. I texted all my family, have you seen my rainbow brush? No, my son just put it. And something else, oh my gosh. We've been missing this little magnet. It's been a nightmare finding magnets to open all these cabinets. I am so excited. These have just been, yeah, a mystery. So now that my cleaning supplies and chemicals are not under the sink, I have a little more space. So I showed you I keep my hot hair tools down here. Even though I really don't use them anymore, I do think I'll use them in the future. I feel like these hair clippers would fit well down here. The theme is infrequently used hair tools. I'm also going to keep the scale down here still. That's where its home is. So I'm going to keep my miscellaneous bin down here. And I really don't feel like giving this box a spot on the most frequently accessed shelf. So I think it will do great under here. And over in this under the sink cabinet, I have my bathroom trash. I have a little plunger back there. And I'm thinking I will move my cleaning products back there. And instead of using a magnetic locking system, I think I'm gonna buy those less attractive straps that stick across and lock that way, and then put the cleaning supplies back in there. For cleaning supplies, I really don't use hardly any of these. This is more my husband's domain. Not to say I don't clean, I do a lot of the cleaning. For me, I just use soap and water for almost every little thing. So Windex, I could do without. Bleach, I could definitely do without. I am going to declutter this Febreze. This is super old. I haven't bought Febreze in seriously ages. This is a empty Clorox bleach. So I'm gonna let these two go. Last but not least, here's my random odds and ends. Candles, big lotion container, toothbrush and floss. These are some extra shower curtain rings. I'm just not gonna hold on to these. My son's brush. My plan is to just actually keep it in this drawer. I know it's silly to give it its own drawer, but my son gets inside these drawers so frequently. I just don't want anything in them. This is my top shelf. Again, this is where I keep my toothbrush. Right now we have a little overflow. We have 2 toothpastes, so I'm just gonna put 1 toothpaste back. I'm gonna put this extra one up in the cabinet for when this one runs out. I don't like having duplicates in my drawers. It just slows me down ever so slightly. And then my husband uses these little floss things. I don't think we need 2, or I don't think he needs 2. So I'm going to leave the one that's pre-strung. As far as toothbrushes go, my husband's actually at Costco right now picking up new toothbrushes because these are very old and a bit gross, I have to admit. So I'm gonna leave this one out and then put some freshies in here when he gets home. Okay, I just showed my husband the progress and he said that I should just take the lower shelf, that it was silly that he would keep it just because he's taller, he can reach further, which totally makes sense. I just didn't want to disrupt the space he already had. I do so much decluttering and shuffling our things and reorganizing. I can imagine being my partner could get kind of annoying sometimes. So when I can just leave things as they are, I often do, but he was team go ahead and do the switcheroo. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm just gonna do a little swap of our shelves. Very happy that he graciously forfeited it. Forfeited it? It reminds me of a Pete Holmes joke where he says the word edited is too many edids. Just funny. So yeah, I forfeited it. He forfeited it. Okay, it's just so funny. You might not think it's funny. I'm gonna put his stuff back. Okay, switcheroo complete. The only thing I can't freaking fit in there is this giant bottle of lotion. So I'm gonna do a little transfer. I'm going to move this over to a bottle. The lotion has transferred, I've decluttered, I've reorganized, done some switcheroos, and now my drawers and cabinets are done. I feel really solid about where everything landed in my bathroom. Is it my ideal setup? Absolutely not. But I have a little one. My life is simply different now, so it takes some changing, some evolving, and probably the biggest win for me personally was getting grounded with my own beauty products. I don't have a ton of alone time as a new mom, so when I go to do my makeup, my skincare, it's really nice to have things in their place. If you had fun watching this video, please give it a like and check out some of my other decluttering videos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would love to have you. I post new videos every week. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Have a fun day. Bye.